We're looking at either 25th or 18th. That's to be confirmed yet. I can't get name, but it should be a good fight. There's 2-0 in BKFC. I think he's got a MMA record of 12 and 9 wins. So yeah, I'm looking forward to past company BKB. They've just done me 53 grand as well. Just because I've not turned up to the court date, not knowing I had a court date, turn up to the judges just gone, I'll get to him. I did literally hit rock bottom thinking, this is me retiring, I'm going to have to retire, not be able to fight. I ain't doing it for a sport. It's a way of life, isn't it, when you compete. I think when we do what we do, it's not a hobby to us. I think it's that regime, that's something to look towards, something to aim towards, which there's nothing else what drives me or gives me that passion to do. I know I can do better than that. Obviously he's a dangerous character, he's got some power, but in my head I believe in myself, so I know if I do the right stuff I can get that win back, and that's what I'll be aiming for. But till then I'll just keep taking out whatever BKC put in front of me.
Guessed it, couple times, better no forensics. This a DZ pendant, I don't need a necklace. We stay protected and connected, it's the energies I'm blessed with. And now they're watching like
Well, you just hit that vape pen, me and Holmes will have a chat.
Yeah, like this. And I act like this.
To be fair, it's not that strong, like you can function and it don't make you think, oh fuck, what am I doing?
I had a go on it, and she tried to make me watch that Barbie film, but even that didn't lock me into that because that is a fucking pile of shite.
You watched it.
I know, she keeps trying to get me to, but there's no chance for it.
Well, it's a story of obviously women ruling the world, so women will absolutely love that. Just eating it up.
It's definitely bullshit then.
No, she keeps saying, no, it's on now. What do you fancy watching it? No.
We had a good chat about the Tyson Fury documentary.
Yeah.
I think a lot of lads have resonated with that. I think you see a true read on him. What did you find from all that? We had a good chat about it
To
over
be
there.
fair, like when he fought Klitschko and he went off rails, I thought, oh yeah, he's a prick. Well, he's held himself, and then when he come back, I thought, you know what, I took a warming to again. But then I keep seeing different stuff on him, but it's only short clips. And I started to judge him, thinking, oh, I've turned back into a bit of a prick. And then I heard about obviously that coming out, and then I thought, I'll get a watch. But then I thought, well, I shouldn't be judging him just seeing off, certain little clips.
Yeah.
And then when I was watching, his head, changed from 1 minute to the next. Since I've been injured, and I've been fucking exactly the same. I'm like that between every fight. If I haven't got a fight camp, so definitely relate to how his head works. Like I'm lost without fighting. I've got no idea what I want to do without it, and it's on it thing what gives me structure, a good regime, and something to put my head into. It's on it thing I love doing. So I won't be able to go do a normal job. Fuck that. It's not for me. I won't be happy doing it.
Take us back to sort of last 90 days. Fought at Leeds. Where's your mindset been? Where's your head been at?
Oh, I've had no but shit. I've had quite a few demons to deal with. I mean, not generally from the loss, don't get me wrong, but as soon as I got home, I had all problems with daughter and boyfriend. He'd attacked her, my sister, and stuff like that. Obviously, as I do what normal dads do. And then a lot of shit's been going off, and then my past company, BKB, they've just done me 53 grand as well, just because I've misread a letter, not knowing I had to attend court. I thought they were asking me how much I was willing to pay. I thought, fuck all, I haven't done no wrong, you know what I mean? And I went on to seeing all solicitors and stuff like that, said they've got no chance in court. And just because I've not turned up to the court date, not knowing I had a court date, turn up to the judges just gone, I'll get to him. He can't be asked to turn up, so...
So you've had to pay 50k?
No, my fuck paying it now.
Fair one.
Yeah.
How are you going to get out of that then? I just got a speeding fine for it. I'm debating not paying that.
Yeah, well, like I say, over my dead body, will I pay a penny towards that? So, no
I'd be
chance.
shitting myself, mate. I'd be fucking bank transfers.
Something wrong with your mic?
My mic?
So take us back there then. So
Wait,
you say
what do you mean by wrong with it?
it's all right now. You just make sure you're speaking into it. Fucking that vape pens that you had already. So let's try and dissect it just so people can really understand. You say demons there. Would it just things stacked up?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me dealing with a loss in first place. It's a bit to take in, but I analysed that fight pretty quick and pretty well. I thought this is what I need to do next. Picked up my mistakes. I thought so. I started training like a man possessed. Throughout, just gonna get my fitness up on that. and then I ended up injuring myself, and then I had all these other things coming on top, you know, the court situation, the daughter situation. Our relationship has been rocky since then, and obviously other, you know, life struggles and fucking, and then take my training away. I ended up tearing my calf, so I've been out a few months now, and no training, no outlet. It was just, I didn't know what to do with myself. I thought, is this me done now? I thought, one of my tendons. I've just had MRI come back and that. Just a big tear, but I've still got an hematoma on it, which I need to go see a specialist because it's been there quite a while now. But now I'm back on track, fucking started training again and moving forward again straight away. Just a complete different mindset.
Does that slowly come back in where you start getting back into those good habits, or does it take you? Do you have to sort of? Because I think you're similar to me in some parts. You have to almost get to rock bottom to then restart again.
100%. I did literally hit rock bottom, thinking this is me retiring. I'm gonna have to retire. You know, not be able to fight. All other stuff were on top of me as well, and I just started thinking, what the fuck's the point? You know, better than I'm trying to do. It seems more stuff comes on top of me, so we're just struggling. So I stopped texting you, stopped texting everybody else, ignoring my phone, just waiting my own bubble. But then bad habits, bad demons started coming back, started drinking again quite regular, you know, and then just going downhill from there. And all stuff I was doing, ice baths, meditation and stuff like that. If one thing ain't working right, I couldn't be asked to do out. I tried meditating a couple of times and my head just won't shut off, so it was fuck that. And I've just started getting back into it now, so and then straight away, just within a week of me doing a little bit, completely different person. And like I say, that Fury, watching him and just watching, you know, I lost when he said he was retiring and that. Not me. I ain't doing it for a sport. It's a way of life, isn't it, when you compete? I think when we do what we do, it's not a hobby to us. I think it's that regime, that's something to look towards, something to aim towards, which there's nothing else that drives me or gives me that passion to do. So,
what is it you like there? Is it the structure? Is it an end date, a goal with a definite purpose?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, and it's challenging yourself each time as well, you know, because you don't know outcome or like that, and you know you've got to prepare for yourself. You've got to be the best version of you, which when I ain't got the fight in line, it's not. I do become somebody I don't like. I mean, at one point, I couldn't even look at my in the mirror, you know, I'm thinking, I was hating myself, I was hating everything what was going off. I thought, it's fucking worlds against me, basically. And then, just slowly things will start coming back together now. So
There's a little bit of fight news. I know you can't give too many details away.
Yeah, we're a bit and ahhing when he didn't want me to take it, want to give a little bit longer on calf, but I'd rather my calf go than my head go, so I need it. And we're looking at either 25th or 18th, that's to be confirmed yet. I can't get name, but it should be a good fight. There's 2-0 in BKFC. I think he's got a MMA record of 12 and 9 wins. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Is it the fight news that's got you back on the right path?
Yeah. And only thing what's hanging in me, I know I shouldn't be looking past any other fights, but like there's a few rumours come to me and stuff like that. Oh, that's it, it's done now. You know, I've only fucking lost one fight. That's my first bare knuckle fight I've lost. I've only lost one glove boxing. If I'd quit then, I won't be where I am now.
Do you feel like, you just said then about looking past the fight, I know we spoke on our pod about the Juggernaut, you're looking towards that fight. Do you feel like looking past Christie a little bit affected you in fight?
Yeah, well, not so much, no. It were other factors, obviously. Preparation. That were a bit up in there. So, like I say, I won't make the same mistake twice, and I'll go in there this time, and I'll probably thinking I've got a big hill to climb, because, like I say, I went up to 97 kg. I'm dropping down to 79. But it's coming off, it's going in the right direction. I've got plenty of time to get it round, so.
Nice.
Is the Christie fight something you want to run back?
Yeah, 100%. I know I can do better than that. Obviously, he's a dangerous character. He's got some power. But in my head, I believe in myself, so I know if I do the right stuff, I can get that win back. And that's what I'll be aiming for. But till then, I'll just keep taking out whatever BKC put in front of me.
We did a podcast straight after your fight where you were all still battered and bruised.
Yeah.
There wasn't any animosity towards Christie, but there's I think you were more pissed off with yourself, and a couple of things went wrong.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Danny now as a person and as a fighter?
Not so much change. I think he's got a little bit more arrogant to what he was. I can relate to him in a lot of ways as well. So, and I don't know him personally, so I couldn't really judge. But yeah, I do think he's a dangerous character in the ring. I respect him as a fighter, and that's all that matters really. We're not in here to make mates, are we? So I just look forward to getting that shot back, and I'll just keep doing whatever BKFC want me to do until I get it.
In terms of training camp for this, is it a fair assessment to say that you're going back to your roots and trusting your instinct?
Yep, I know my own body better than anybody else. Wayne knows me better than anybody else, so I'm doing everything my way now. So that's no blame on other. I should have known, before things. I wasn't managing to fit stuff in, and it got to on fight day. I couldn't wait for rest before I even fight, and usually I'm chomping at a bit to get it ringing that fight. So, like I said, credit where credit's due, though. He caught me with a good shot.
Bring it on back on a lighter note. We travelled out to Benidorm for, how long did you go for?
A week.
Tell us that funny story in that smoke shop, mate. Come on.
Oh, fucking hell. When I went with Danny? Oh, mate, horrible. Thought I'd try weed caffeine, so I went in there, had some Pineapple Express, and usually I only have one or two before bed. But we ended up doing full jointing, and then he brought the Volcano out.
Oh dear.
Did the bloke who owned it? He didn't speak a word of English, and I went, "Oh, I've got one of them," and I'm sure he must have thought I want one of them. So I didn't. I'd already blazed from joint before. Then all of a sudden he's passed me this fucking big creamy balloon over. Thought I've just felt polite, Started having it, mate. Fuck me straight away. It was a mistake. It's paranoid to fuck. All of a sudden he got up and locked door, checking for police, and said, "Bloke, other bloke wouldn't shout." He says, "Yeah, he did this before. He left him in for 3 hours."
Fuck's sake.
And I didn't really think it was illegal, so I'm thinking, oh, fucking hell, I'm going to get fucked here, I'm going to get banged up abroad again. So paranoid, so as soon as he come back, bolted, but it fucking took me, I couldn't fucking walk properly. Everybody I walked by, it were there off their trolley then, like everybody knew. But they all had the same accent as well, so it was just fucking in my head, but I couldn't look about, couldn't look up. I got home, text her, fucking hotel, you need to come on up in this door up quick. Just got straight in bed and under covers. Cleaner come to clean your room, get the fuck out. And then I kept hearing sirens and that. I was thinking, are those wee shops are set up or what? Set us up over here.
When he let me know that, I just dodged it all holiday me. I didn't go into the smoke shop. No.
Yeah, I thought it's put me off. I won't go again. No chance.
How fast after having the balloon or whatever they call it, did it go downhill?
Pretty much instantly.
Did it?
Yeah, fucking ruined me, mate, honestly.
I don't think I've ever been in a state like that from smoking weed.
No, I was shaking while I was walking. I couldn't walk properly, and then like zebra crossings and that over there, I was stuck at zebra crossing. Do I go? Don't I go? Couldn't look at anybody. Every time I saw an Ivies, turn around other way. We even walked round. I thought I'll walk on beach and walk in sea, see if it brings me round a bit. Fucking
paranoid a shark's gonna come.
No, fucking wrong. But like I said, I just hearing the same accent all the way through. He's off his trolley. He's off his trolley. And Danny was going to me on my shoulder as well. Everybody knows. Going, shut up the fuck up.
Was he saying it, or was you imagining it?
He was saying everybody knows. Don't be telling me that, so it's making me worse. Fucking hell, horrible.
It's mad how it stuns some people into sort of regret and paranoia, and some people can just cruise on it. It must be strain dependent.
Yeah, well, like I said, that was Pineapple Express and then whatever he gave me. He gave me a name on Google at the time, but I forgot it now.
Ellis swore anti-weed for a while, but he's relapsed. He relapsed last night.
I hate it when you call it relapse.
What do you mean?
I hate it. It makes me feel
yeah,
like
but he always takes a proper stern approach to it. It's like, and he sometimes tries to influence me with it. It's like, no, we need to stop, and it's this reason and that and the other.
I'm stopping, you're stopping, yeah.
Well, no, I relapsed after the Osme. I had that snus on that rat pain. I would have like, my head feels good, have a smoke, and we're all right.
Like we've talked before, I think as long as you've got everything out through the day, for me it's just a nighttime thing. As soon as everything's, I can't go to sleep without it, and I only take a couple of swallows, that's it, and it just helps me relax and shut my mind off a bit. You can't have a conversation with me because fuck knows what you're on about after halfway through the conversation.
I thought I was good the other day, but like I said, there were a point where I wanted to stand up and run home. But other than that, everything were all right.
Yeah, a little bit's all right, but like I say, we're going to depth with conversation. I forget what we're talking about halfway through, or if I've got out to do, I'll start going to do it, and then I'll go into a room. What am I in here for?
Yeah.
So I think you've got to everything can't outweigh all your job's done for the day, and it's just for a wind down for me to shut my mind.
Yeah,
off.
that's the one.
Have you been toying with any plant-based medicines?
I did. That probably what changed me head back actually a little bit. I did 5 grams of mushrooms. Just locked myself away in bedroom one Sunday. Did that in a tea. Went through emotions, laughing 1 minute, crying next. And then I seem to be bang on positive mind since then. And I don't know what it does. It just gives me direction. Everything just seems right. I'm doing this, so I'm gonna do it. I see something, and I'm going for it.
When you say you lock yourself in bedroom, are you watching TV, listening to stuff?
No, I put some nice relaxing music on. I do see it as medicine. I don't see it as all else. It's not what do you call it?
Not recreational stuff.
Recreational. Yeah. I just do it once I do feel like I'm in a really dark place. I do it, and it seems to bring me round. And it ain't like an instant hit. It's over the coming days. I just start making the right choices, productive choices. So
When you're taking a dose like that, though, so how deep are you getting to reflect? Is it visuals? Is it just emotions? Is it ideas and thoughts? What is it?
It's visuals, letting go of emotions, self-talk, and you're processing everything, like talking to yourself, sort of thing. And it's hard to describe, but whatever it does, it just clears your mind, and it seems to just dump all the fucking negative shit, and you stop
Procrastinating.
Yeah, that's the one. And and start, like I say, it just turns you positive. So, somewhat, like I said, it's not. I won't advise everybody to go do it, but it's what works for me. So.
Especially not 5 grams. I fil like that's a full-on hero dose.
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do is microdose originally, but more I look into it, it's macrodosing. What's better for you?
Yeah.
Is it what macrodosing is in just doing one big hit,
One big hit, yeah.
waiting a while?
That's what I read. Terence McKenna says that. It's like a lot of people, even he says it with marijuana, people sort of use it recreationally.
Yeah.
But that in its correct setting, if you're doing it for like you say there, to break patterns, to be introspective and see where you want to go next, it's the dosage that's the key. So going long stretches without it, which I find hard to do, but then when you smoke as much as you can, probably like through a vaporizer or whatnot. And same with the mushrooms. There's no way I don't think I could do 5 grams. I just think that.
I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not something what I'd say, oh yeah, that were a good laugh, because far from it, because like I say, you're hitting every emotion going within those 3 to 5 hours, or however long it lasts. And it's not something I can do with anybody else. So
I mentioned that we would potentially do a ceremony, but Holmesy seems to have the understanding that it's best to be done alone, and if you've got people there, it could somewhat affect the trip. Or
because like I say, you're dealing with personal stuff, and you change. Like 1 minute you can be laughing, next minute you can be crying, and that's not something that you want to be in public, doing as you're going through these changes. So, like I said, medicinal for me only, and I won't do it regular, no chance.
You mentioned there when it's like the 2 to 3 days after you've done the dose. Is it a fair assessment there that what you're looking for is almost like a clean break in a pattern?
Yeah.
And do you recognise what that pattern is to be able to move through it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one thing after over. I mean, I went through more than what most people go through within years. And I went through it in a short space of time, within weeks. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, what else? And it just got me literally to rock bottom, and I lost. So I thought, can't keep feeling like this. It's not just affecting me, it's affecting everybody around me. It's how I'm, reacting with others as well. So I just thought, yeah, it's time.
You said after your fight, you went on a bit of a downhill spiral.
Yep.
How downhill was it?
Oof, it's too much hot cameras, I'll tell you that, yeah.
Some long days.
Some long days, yeah.
Nice.
Only lasted short though, and soon regretted during. So, but like I say, I'm back on track now, and got my focus back. So, looking forward to what comes. Just want to get back in that ring. And like I say, you get quite a lot of negative comments. When you lose a fight, you lose some followers as well. It's all right while you're winning. But as soon as you lose, that's it, that's done. I mean, I've just had it from somebody local, Monk Hill Sandwich Shop. telling one of my closest friends, like, saying, "No, he's done now." You know, I thought, fucking kidding me? One loss, I'll show you. You stick to what you do, making signings. That's why you don't fucking fight. Yeah,
Does that? I know what you're like as a character. Does that motivate you more though, when you hear stuff like
100%.
that?
Yeah. Oh, like I say, I lost last time and then ended up coming back and winning fucking 4 belts. You know, this time I'll lose again. And it isn't about the belts, like I say, it's just about being in there and like living the life of like, what I love living. So,
Has the long-term goal changed at all?
no, not really. Not really, but I do need to be competing. So, after I finish boxing, I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu and compete in that, you know, so still physical, has to be physically demanding. So I've always wanted to get graded, I've always done no gi, so it'd be nice to put a gi on and see how well I can do with that.
Nice. Jiu-jitsu wanker.
Get your perspective on. I like to talk fight with you. The Usyk and Dubois fight. Did Usyk look beatable?
He's been in control all the way through. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about that with a low blow. Well, it won't. It will way below his waistband. There's been several angles on it, like, but I think if he started to count it referee anyway, he'd have stood up. But it was a legal blow, so he took his time as fairly he did. And Dubai won in that fight one bit anyway. So, and I think he packed in the end. He didn't. For me, he had no to offer. I still want to see Tyson Fury and Usyk. I wish all politics would fuck off on money and that, you know. If you're in sport, you want to fight best, that's it, and see who is best.
Do you feel Ngannou can bring any trouble to Fury?
I do. Yeah, I think obviously nobody moves like Fury for his size and his weight, but I think with Mike Tyson in his corner as well, giving him all his tricks, teaches him how to use that power. I mean, he's got some phenomenal power, hasn't he? So, yeah, you think Deontay Wilder can it? I think he'll put Deontay Wilder to shame with his punch power.
You've seen what happens with these MMA fights. Does this mic sound like it just keeps going off?
No?
You've seen what happens with MMA fights when they fight people like Jake Paul, like Red Ben Askren, Anderson Silva and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you not think it's quite a short amount of time for Ngannou to pick up enough boxing to beat the world's best?
Not really, because he was a champion at UFC, wasn't he? He's got that mindset. He did boxing before. And I think Mike Tyson, teaching him his style, he'll soon pick it up. And months are doing that. I think he'll be definitely a dangerous foe, ain't he?
It'll be a big pay-per-view, that one.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it anyway. That's the only one really I've been interested in.
What's the date for that?
I can't remember. For it October or December?
Yeah, it's coming up soon. I think the press conference this weekend, so that'll be a bit of fun to watch Fury back into the spotlight and promote it. I don't think many people promote it like he does. He's one of the best, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even John Fury's put out his concerns about it, hasn't he? Saying he don't think his son will come unscathed out of that fight. Which if Ngannou does make contact fully, he's got a good chance of stopping Tyson Fury, which, don't get me wrong, I do think Tyson Fury's a lot better boxer if he can maintain, that head movement and keep to his game throughout. But how do you stop a bloke that big and that strong coming forward constantly?
I think it'll be a test. Because like you said there, that you watched some of the trouble he got in with Wilder, and I think Ngannou definitely hits harder.
Yeah, and I think he's got a lot more better fight IQ brain as well. Whereas Deontay Wilder's just got that one trick pony.
I think he's like 260, 270 pounds. He's 40 pounds heavy. Well, what's that, 30, 40 pounds heavier than Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Look what he did against Alistair Overeem. He decapitated him. Took his head clean off with uppercut, didn't he? It was just crazy power.
Yeah, dangerous.
I thought it was dead, me. Alistair Overeem, when I seen that, but fucking hell, nearly broke his neck.
And he won a walkover. He a K1 world champion. I think he's very accredited in his...
Riding up to nines like, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Kiefer Crosby's just been signed to UFC?
I buzzing with that. Saw him today putting his gloves on his Instagram, and we got to watch him up close, didn't we, at the weigh-ins, and then he's fighting in Australia because it's Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya this weekend.
Oh, is that what card is fighting on?
Yeah.
I like Strickland, I like his boxing. I don't think he'll live with Adesanya's kicks and that, though.
No. Do you think that fight gets stopped fairly early?
I don't know about early because he's a tough character, but I think he'll find it struggle to get in range and stuff. I think Ngannou's going to attack his legs. He's more like into boxing and leading that lead leg. I think he's going to get attacked, and he'll keep his distance.
About Adesanya, did you say?
Yeah,
Adesanya.
Well, he's fighting Sean Strickland, who also fought Pereira before and got stopped because he just got like
He's been training
his styles.
with Pereira at a minute,
has he?
Yeah,
Who was? Sean Strickland.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Pereira's like the ultimate troll. There's such a rivalry between him and Adesanya. He'll have done that solely just to get under his skin.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Pereira.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched the second fight again this morning.
Yeah.
He'd been training that, like where he'd come up against the cage, let him unload a little bit, then bang, caught him with right hand, and then it was just a beautiful sequence to watch that.
Yeah, but like again with that, they all said Adesanya had no chance in rematch. That's it. It will absolutely destroy him. But if you're not about fighting, it can go anyway. If everybody quit as soon as said somebody thinks, oh, they've got no chance, you won't see no fucking fights. You won't see no champions. Different sort of mentality to normal people.
What do you think to Adesanya's celebration after where he dived on the floor in front of his kid?
I like the bow and arrow one, mate.
Yeah, that's sick. And then when he saw his kid in crowd, and he's like, because his kid took piss out of Adesanya when he got knocked out by him, didn't he? Savage.
I mean, it's a heat-up moment, innit? I mean, you can't really go off it. You've got that many different emotions going through your body, so you can understand it's a bit raw, innit? But you can't really blame fighter either. He's just gone through a fucking war, and then he's just got overfilled with different emotions when he's won. So,
did you watch the Sean O'Malley fight?
Yeah.
What did you think to that?
Yeah, I can't recall it a minute, to be honest with you, but I did watch.
It was like a second round. It was like it come out in the press that he had a bad rib. So like I think his coach said to him basically, you get taken down, you're dead. That had to be mentality going into it. First round were a bit cagey, and then second round he just overcommitted, and he just caught him with a right hand.
Can remember when he fought with Cujo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to run over fucking O'Malley really after watching that fight. So that's off to him. Was it right hand? He stepped back right hand.
Yeah, step back right and then just sort of just finished it on floor.
Very, very similar to Conor McGregor versus Aldo, step back and backhand.
Oh, but like I say, he shot me anyway. I got up to watch it, but can't remember the full fight.
Well, that's happened.
What, UFC, boxing, what were it?
Eubanks.
Oh, yeah.
Eubank and Smith.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Do you think that's a prime example there, what you said in terms of rematches where everybody just assumed Smith were going to just walk all over him?
That's what I mean. If you have that sort of mentality, how far are you going to get? As soon as you fail at once, and you no, you better quit.
Yeah.
That's about fuck off. No, I'm not built like that. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep trying until I get it right.
There was a video popped up after a Smith, not making excuses, but he was like, yeah, no, I killed myself on weight cut, But when they did the face-off, he was the one giving Eubank shit, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, the difference in the styles, difference to the second fight, the first fight, sorry, I were in order, Eubanks. I mean, I'm not a Eubank fan.
Yeah.
And to watch him, every time Smith was trying to get something off, he'd smother him, keeping his distance with jab. And then his shot variation from head to body, uppercuts, hooks, crosses. I just thought, fucking hell, he couldn't ask for much more of a picture-perfect boxing show. And what shocked me most was his attitude after. I can't usually stand listening to him talk. I think, shut the fuck up. But he was very humble, confident still, but humble. I thought, if you go out like this and act like this all the time, I'll be a fan. But
we said that he seemed to get booed in and there was a bit of cheer when he'd finished it. I think he definitely accumulated a lot of fans that night.
Yeah, well, whatever you think about him as a character, that he deserves his hat taken off for that performance. I thought it was good to watch.
I don't think he's had it easy, him. So I saw an Instagram post this morning where he'd instead of celebrating and partying, which he could have done after a win like that, he'd gone back and seen his nephew.
Yeah.
Did his brother die recently? I feel his brother died.
Sure.
I feel his brother died in the last couple of years. Obviously, that's a massive loss, and that he'll still be trying to deal with that and overcome it. But it just showed you how he's a family man as well. I feel.
Yeah.
Is it? I suppose in boxing, especially when he's been, obviously who his dad was, showman and the ultimate showman at that. Do you feel that's him? Is he just leaning into that character, or do you feel that's like part of his DNA?
I think he's had an help in his career through that, hasn't he? But it's a big shadow to get from under as well.
Yeah.
I do think he started taking a bit of that character on himself, and as we seen last thing, he's seemed to have put that to the side. But even his relationship with his dad seems a bit. His dad was slating him on some stuff I've been watching, saying he don't listen, he's not me, he's no champion, all this. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, that's a bit harsh. It's your son, regardless what you can say. In Outback, away from cameras, it's not something you should be sharing public, because So I'm glad he's gone where he's gone. I don't want to see Conor Benn fight.
Yeah, how do you feel that? How do you feel that one goes?
Conor Benn looks like a machine at the moment.
Yeah, I think
All
he's.
right.
We talk about shadows and stuff. I think he is his dad. You know, he's got that aggressiveness, but he throws every shot with intention to work. And I think one of the fights I was watching, he come out straight front gate, you know, just throwing power shot, and he won't start. I'm thinking, fucking, how's going to wear himself out here? But he just maintained it throughout. I think he's an animal, mate. Yeah.
Have you been following any of this influencer boxing stuff?
No.
Not at all.
No.
You still proper against that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you not even going to tune into the Prime card?
Probably not. No.
Why? What's the Prime card?
Well, it's Logan Paul versus
Oh,
Dylan
yeah,
Dennis, KSI versus Tommy Fury.
I don't even think Dylan Dennis. I think he'll pull out again. I think every fight has been matched up with the past several years. He pulls out last minute, doesn't he?
If he pulls out, Logan Paul's fighting Mike Perry.
Yeah.
I think that'll probably be a better fight, to be fair.
Yeah, I do. And plus, Mike Perry deserves that. So
Good payday.
So, yeah.
Did you watch on the undercard of the Usyk Dubois? They made a big deal of Nazim Hamed's son. I don't know if you watched him fight.
No, I didn't watch on the card.
He didn't fight anyone. I shouldn't disrespect him. He fought a punch bag basically.
Yeah.
It were a mismatch. But the Saudis there must be putting a lot of money into Nazim's son.
Yeah.
He would basically co-main event. It was his first professional bout.
I mean,
it was impressive to watch. Like he could see who his dad was from his style and what he did, but they must be putting a lot of money into him to promote him because that was his first. He's not even had an amateur fight.
they will do what they do with boxing as well. They build them up. They do feed them to get the confidence up, to get used to that, atmosphere and that. I think that's where bare knuckle and like MMA and that's different. You go straight in, you end up fighting somebody fucking really good. You don't get fed out. So,
is there any? Since our last podcast, I'd say last 3 months, I've gone down some big conspiracy theory rabbit holes.
yeah.
Is there anything new that's popped up that you can
With
give me
me,
some info on?
Yeah, that in Maui.
With the fires?
Yeah, I do believe. Well, everywhere there's all these fires, what's broke out in America, that in Maui. All residents have even come. The police blocked off all roads. Why did they stop all water beforehand? Why did they stop all the sirens and the warning systems going off? And then why did the police try barricade them in? And all these witnesses are coming from Maui village saying it was them. They've been trying to buy the property off them that as well. They've got all plans for smart cities and stuff. And everywhere there seems to be a big fire or a big incident, they've got a smart city plan there. So is that just a massive coincidence? I think fucking world's fucked. They're saying stuff out loud, saying this Agenda 2030 and that. So they're not saying it for fun of it. It is these clips what we're seeing. There's truth in it, and I think there's a lot to worry about. And there's more. It's been released. There's supposed to be COVID rules and that coming back in it year. Lockdowns, mask wearing, mask mandates. And if that happens and we fall for it a second time, we deserve fucking everything we get.
I feel like if they do it another time, I feel like they'll have a lot less people respect the rules. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Fauci's been in court cases since then, and it's all come out. It was released. He was funding the gain of function and all stuff like that. So if that ain't enough for you, fucking hell, what more do you need to know? How many people's died? And then instead of listening to, I don't think no government. It's a global. It's global now, so no government's to be trusted. The police aren't on our side. They just work for them, and it's shown over and over. And if you listen to the testimonies of the residents of Maui, it's fucking dodgy as fuck. How come it's just Oprah Winfrey's police commissioners, Bill Gates' house what ain't touched? How's that happen? How does alloy melt like that? Just at a normal fire temperature, and no trees or oaks gone round them. So how can you? If that ain't enough evidence for you,
Is this quite heavily in the press? This has it been broadcasted on a fair
they're
bit?
They're not allowing media in Maui. They're cutting it off, but they obviously people from Maui themselves are releasing stuff on the internet and that. The meetings are going for demanding answers, saying they know it's them. Like fucking, they reckon Oprah Winfrey is a big part of it, which she has bought fucking shitloads of land over there, and the notes happen to hers, notes happen to her property, has there? So
That could be a huge decoy, like if stuff like that is going on. I don't know the ins and outs about it, but when what's it called, where they do smoke and mirrors almost, where a lot of the press were pushed towards the UFO thing and the finding of alien beings or whatever that might be. It's almost like if they're in charge at media, if this is going on here, it's easy just to the masses just to be lost in that sort of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or this is why I was thinking the other day regarding, when they mentioned the Illuminati, like I had a joke with you that because the younger generation, I had this conversation with my granddad yesterday. It's the younger generation aren't interested in local politics, in community building. Really, like it's just the last thing that's on their mind. They're lost in the phone. They're lost in TikTok, YouTube, all this stuff.
Could have lost in what sex they are now
Yeah.
as well.
So it's like it's easy to push these what I see are abstract debates about gender and whatever it might be. That the bigger picture, the younger generation below us, they have no interest in it. They're never gonna like. Who do you know now? Because it's a rich game now in terms of who gets into politics. I had a conversation with Grandad at depth regarding Yvette Cooper, who's not a local person to here. She's not going to be invested in the local community or building that. It's a business for them now almost. So the fear for me is I don't understand enough about all these big major, events, but at a core level it's fucked because you're never going to get people in who want to evoke a change. Like we're all 70% of people now. A paycheck to paycheck. So even to have time to digest it and think about it, you're financially stretched. You're in the middle of an inflation at the minute, which only affects the people who haven't got any money.
Yeah.
That's what they do when they put the bank rates up and stuff like that. Don't get it twisted. The rich are going to be sound. Yeah. That's where I get a bit lost with it. It's the narrative of what you're doing. But secondary to that, if this makes sense, what I'm saying is, how do you even begin to evoke a change? Because the masses aren't happy. Yeah. That is a fair point to say. Most people are pissed off, frustrated, cost of living's going up. You don't get, we debate all the time, is this even the country to live in now? Yeah. But what's the alternative?
I don't
Have
think
you seen
you
what's
can't
been
escape
happening
it.
in down London when they've expanded the green area with the cars?
Well, there's been chopping all things down,
Yeah, they've been chopping all the cameras down because obviously the rich have got nice cars that don't have to pay to travel into London. Well, whereas the poorer people who are travelling and have got all the cars, so these are the people who are pulling them down.
Yeah, they've just been chopping them down there. They're not standing for it all.
The big protest down there at the minute, but you're not seeing it on media. You're getting clips on that, like on TikTok and Facebook. Yeah. But why is no media covering it? Because they want to try and keep it as quiet as possible. Same as you said with smoke and mirrors. Pandemic, that was one. And while that's happening, what they're doing is changing laws, getting more control. The war, the Black Lives Matter things, the gender, creating all that. So we're all arguing amongst ourselves or being in a scared state. And we're all fucking focusing on one thing. They're doing other thing with other hand, So they're creating the problems, and they're going to say, "Oh, we've got a solution now."
Yeah.
Do you think in our lifetime that everyone just be like, what the fuck are these doing? Why are we listening to them all? Or do you think everyone's just going to keep playing by the rule book?
I think the majority are still, are waking up, but there's still a lot of people as well who take what they see on TV as gospel, believe, what the news is telling is legit. And news could tell me fucking grass is green up, go. I'll go check. I won't fucking believe out now. I see on telly. So, and the way we go to politics, they've all got their own, version of what they're going to do leading up to it. Not one of them follows it through, and when they do get into power, they've all got same advisories as what were there beforehand anyway, so they just follow suit, get a payday, and that's it. They're just front man for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's an institution there, isn't it? It's almost like my granddad said to me yesterday, they deem it because he were involved with politics to a certain level, not to bore people to death, but with NHS specifically. And once you got into a position of power there, it's NHS it's all advisory. Yeah. So even if you get into a position of power, it's top down. Yeah, it's not.
You're not following orders. Yeah. So I mean, there was something written, I think it was 1940s or something like that, called Lucy's Trust, and it was going how much they wanted to train. The family setting. Dissect that. Basically isolate us more so we're more controllable. And they've had this plan since then. We haven't really got they're attacking us through as food, chemicals in food, GMO. They're attacking us with chemtrails, now attacking us with pandemics, every way possible going. They're getting us so we're submissive to them in some way, or they can take us rights. We're losing more and more rights as we go, and soon we won't have many left. So you can't, for the better good, you need to stay home for the better good. You can't say this about somebody, it offends them. For the better good, you better start wearing a mask. For the better good, you better start wearing 2 masks. You know, fucking hell. Some of it's just pathetic.
So much has changed even in our lifetime from controlling us.
I mean, you've got to be careful everything you say now, because somebody might take it wrong way, but don't matter who you are, somebody's going to find something offensive about you anyway.
Yeah. When I were a kid on Park, like, kids were calling each other. People didn't bat an eyelid, and I'm going to bleep all that out, but people didn't bat an eyelid. If you, like, even now, even though I'm not, like, for these people or against them, if I walked past a park and heard a kid call, I'd be like, oh, you little fucking... But when I was a kid, it was just like, no one said shit to you.
Yeah, I think everybody has become always offended by something now. So you'll be next week.
They were talking about criminalising misgendering someone.
No, the one.
Yeah, that's in the press now. So, like, imagine that. So if you were to misgender someone, it could be a criminal charge, which is just ludicrous to me. But that's, like, been pushed now. Because it's social media that gives this a voice. And I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I fully agree with that. But people who haven't got much going on in their life, they get invested in that then, and it almost becomes a part of the personality and character that I'm going to get behind this. Because people want to get behind good things, but if you look at the institutions, they're probably just laughing at the top. It's like divide and conquer, get these arguing about trivial matters. They're not going to be thinking about, like, society. They're not going to be thinking about income or making more money or building a business or moving, whatever it might be. They're just lost in that debate, and people do like to take sides, and people do like to be part of something, but, like, it's the wrong argument. Collectively, it makes sense. It's like, I'm just a big believer in let people do what they want to do, give autonomy, like, let them be who they want to be. I'm not against that in any which way, but why push the message on everyone else? Because if we believe in masculinity and living like we like to live, I'm not, like, out there spouting it to masses and saying you've got to live like this. It's just how I want to live.
Yeah,
that's the big
same with, like, the gender change and that. If you want to do that, fair enough. But you don't tell me you're a woman. You know, well, clearly you were a man before. If you believe that, you believe that. But I've got my own beliefs. But they're making it where you're not allowed to have your own beliefs. So it is creating friction. But, like, there's that. You ever heard that where they put the black ants and the red ants in the jar? They live. Well, they're just untouched. They're cohabiting, no problems are out. Then they shut jar, and then they all start killing each other. Well, start looking who shook jar, rather than looking, person beyond you. What they're telling us to wait.
With the freedom of speech, have you watched the Theo Vaughn and
Jordan Peterson
podcast?
No, it's a good watch.
It is a good watch. They were talking about freedom of speech, and they believe that with social media, it's going to get to the point where if you want to write a status or write a caption or write a post, it'll run through sort of some AI system and say, well, you're not allowed to word it like that. This is how you have to word it, and it just loses the person behind the screen, then, doesn't it?
This is why I feel Twitter, what's called X now, that'll be leading platform in the next 5 years for people who want to communicate and speak openly, because Elon won't stand for that, and he owns that.
Yeah. Well, I like his views on AI as well. Elon Musk, I was sat on fence with him a bit, but he's actually, I think, for people. And I mean, he's telling his words about AI. I mean, Lucy, she's a counsellor. They've got AI for counselling now. So, what is there going to be any jobs for us anyway? It's all going to be, it's all getting fucking taken over. So it's just going to be talking.
What? So people there are writing the problems in, and an AI is giving a response to how you can improve yourself.
Yeah, I think it's CDT or something like that's delivering. I'm not 100% on that. But it can, like, actually counsel them. So you basically, but how can you take, have a robot counselling you? Yeah. It's not got no emotion. It can't feel. So it may be able to think for itself, but how can it relate or know what you're going for? And each person feels something a different way.
Yeah, it might spit the science back out, but it's not giving you any empathy. It's not giving you any personal touch or all that sort of stuff.
And I think that's what some people need, a bit of understanding, a bit of empathy, on a personal level, not on a robotic level. So
it's going to take over the fucking world. Like, it's good to use AI for this sort of stuff that we're doing, but when it gets crazy that you're getting counselling from a fucking robot.
I think the government know this. Like, so there will be eventually, there'll be a huge displacement in jobs.
Yeah.
So, like, as the advancement as technology improves, It'll be driverless, so you're losing all the driving jobs. All these Amazon factories will be completely robotic. There'll be no requirement for men, really. Maybe someone to just monitor robots.
I think Amazon already is similar to that anyway, isn't it? So,
but the thing there that I look at is the working man, where all those jobs are going to be displaced, where they're going to go, what they're going to do. So it makes sense then if they're trying to control them, because sooner or later, that work won't be available for them.
Same as construction industry and stuff like that. Even there's machines there, plastering, all sorts, laying curbs, you know. So soon we won't be needed. And they keep saying, they said it, I don't know how many times out in loud, but they want the population down to down by 90%. I mean, they've even said a second pandemic's coming. Biden said it, Bill Gates has said it. And he even started laughing. If first one didn't get your test, the second one will. And if you can't fucking take note of what, can't you see it's fucking planned? How the fuck do they know it's coming?
Any of you boys see what happened at Burning Man Festival?
It all flooded.
So Burning Man's a festival that I've always been intrigued by. But basically, you're going into the middle of the desert, and it's all communal. So you don't really, there's no exchange of money. It's dependent on what you take there and whatnot. But it's been completely washed out, and there were like talks of that there were a virus there, like spreading between all, because 70,000 people descend upon that area there, and that was just a complete washout, and that's where they go to take some severe drugs, don't they? I think that's the place to go do it.
Where did you say where's it happened?
Burning Man, it's like in a desert somewhere in America. I'll have to find the I don't know where the actual location is, but it's the first time it's ever been washed out fully like that, and just
rained on
fully. But then you can't get out then, because it's like just turns to sludge. The vehicles couldn't get in and out. The toiletries, they couldn't empty all that. So sanitary problems, food run out, water run out. It's like Walking Dead
as well, weren't there?
Yeah, it's like crazy what happened there. But then I looked at that because they said there were this thing spreading that were all vomiting, diarrhea, whatnot. Yeah. Fact of the matter is, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm surmising it's from dirty water. But like they tried to plant the seed there that because they all got quarantined then when they came back to airports, so they weren't allowed to be around other people or like. They're just trying to fucking do something else there without making it.
Well, that way, they've got fucking control. It's proven now as well. They've got plenty of stuff. They've been doing it for years. They did it in Vietnam, controlling weather. So they can manipulate the weather to how they want.
Benny Cocaine's a big. I don't know enough about these chemtrails, but he believes it's manipulated every just weather. Yeah, because you watch it sometimes. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a jet stream. I don't even know.
Yeah, there's a couple pilots and that. What obviously they're not in that work no more, and they've been whistleblowing and saying how dangerous it is, and they're against it and stuff like that. And they're supposed to get some form of protection for whistleblowing, but they said there's none. So we'll see what happens to that.
What are these chemtrails supposed to do?
It's like cloud seeding and stuff like that. And other people are finding a lot of like aluminium and stuff in the soils now, which never used to be. So, and what else are we breathing in? Fuck knows. So,
I watched a little clip this morning on Diary of the CEO podcast, and there's a girl on it saying that the reason why men have such low testosterone these days, and say it's all to do with deodorants, moisturisers, perfume, water. Candles, water, stuff getting sprayed, food getting sprayed and shit.
Yeah, it's they did an experiment you talked about the other day with frogs.
Is that because Josh's testosterone was 0.26?
I'm back optimal.
Are you back optimal now already? 2 days later? Come on.
Wink, wink.
What are you saying, Ant?
So they do want to feminine. They don't want the masculine because obviously when you're emasculated, you got high testosterone, you're a lot out of control. So they have this fluoride in water, there's something else in the water what's supposed to try curb his testosterone, and over years, 2050, there'll be no blokes with any testosterone, so...
I'm going to stock up on fucking Test 300. They'll end up spiking his testosterone soon, though.
Well, I did that, then I did Optimal test, and mine came back, so I went to right funk, me. Yeah. Probably similar to you, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like taking all these business projects on, I'm outside in, I look like I'm doing well, but I just almost started losing joy for anything, which is a horrible mindset to be in for anyone because, God, man, it's...
Well, once you go negative, everything becomes negative.
It's hard to break that loop then. That's what I just find. It was really tough to break that loop. I'll be showing up to everyone, we're just like, we're off keel.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to even have a conversation when you feel like that.
Yeah, you don't want to be creative or anything like that. I would just like, I wonder if that were down to my low test.
Yeah, I think everybody, especially when you hit 50s, your testosterone drops a load anyway. So it's also good when you're feeling tired, when you are feeling depressed and stuff like that. That can be low testosterone. Yeah. A big part of the time it is. So
all I did there, what did it cost us? 30, 40 quid? Be able to just send your prick your finger, test your blood, get you know then as well. That's why I want to go down that route. So I've used testosterone in the past, but more of a guess game, innit? A bit of a scientific experiment for yourself.
One thing I'll say you haven't done though, you don't know what milligram of test you need now to be optimum.
Well, the second stage there to do it, if I want to be more doctor science based, would be to get a secondary test, and then they're going to prescribe it. But I know what the doctor's going to say. He's going to say, run some sort of PCT during to control estrogen, and they're going to try and charge me a premium.
I'd just go off how many times you're watching porno per day. That'd be a good.
Yeah, I'm just waking up fucking rock hard at a minute, mate. So that'll do for me. Throbbing at some times, you know what I mean? Hurting me.
That's been a while for me. That
that must be a sign of a vitality, though. If you're waking up with that, surely.
100%.
Are you not? Are you just waking up flaccid and fucking stinky?
Yeah, not about stinky, but last few weeks or so, yeah.
I think it's down to you, though. I always bring it back to this OnlyFans thing. You must be desensitized to it almost.
I am.
Did he tell you he's got a current Patreon customer who travels to his house on the train once a month, sometimes twice a month if need be, and just massages him? I mean, that's a bit strange.
No, this your cult you started.
First member of cult, that.
Yeah.
No.
500 nicker.
You can get it done. Clean up, lads. Fuck it, do it. But
Is he trying to stick a finger up bum?
No, not at all. Bro, he did like.
Is he
catch him in bedroom with your boxes?
in his head, if he keeps paying this 500 nicker, let's flip the script. Let's just say I had a infatuation with a girl, and I'm going round and I'm paying me £500 each time to massage you. Sooner or later,
yeah,
I want to fucking see something. Do you know what I mean? I want to
play it long
game.
Yeah,
I thought you'd put a line past, but I mean, like,
go on.
Nah, I'm about you massaging women for money, but
oh yeah.
The difference is like, I'm not going to say that you would ever try and like outpower this girl, but some men, if they were paying to massage a girl and it got to like the 5th and 6th time and they're like, oh fucking, I want a bit of action, they're like, come on, like I'm paying you, you'd be a bit pushy. Whereas this guy with me, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, but
let's
sleep, let's just hear me out. Let's just take this one step further. If you were going to go down rabbit hole,
1 second,
do you want a brew? Just say something.
Yes, poison. You're on your back just watching a podcast, thinking I'm getting a massage, £500, bang, straight into the back at Amy. Just poisoned you. Next thing you wake up, sore arsehole, all possessions have gone, and that's it. Do you know what I mean?
If he plots a mission like that and completes it, fair play to him. I can't even fucking complain. But he literally, he walks through my doors, stays in the living room, does the massage.
Slow it down a second so people can understand this.
I'm just giving you a basic.
Is there any sort of, what's introduction like? You shaking hands?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
And I'm like, what's happening, brother? And he's like, hey, you all right, mate? And I'm like, yeah, sweet. Sits down, long journey, yeah. Set off. I had to get up at 2 this morning to get on the train at 4 o'clock this morning.
Commitment.
I'm like, fair enough. 3 or 4 hour bus journey or whatever it is. Comes to mine, gives a massage for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, pays £500. I even now drop him back off at Glassalton bus station, train station.
This is a fucking strange carry
I'd
on.
just be sat there all the time thinking, what the fuck's up with this guy? I won't be able to be relaxed. I think there's something wrong with this guy.
You could do to him to like, so you can give him a bit more back, you could almost cut an hole out where fucking Spadder sits. So Spadder's just sat through, and he said, listen, you can have a little look now and again, but no touching.
No,
not fancying Spadder through.
No.
What, just fucking hanging like that?
Start blood draining out your body.
Do you ever, we can blur this out if you wanted, you've got influence in this community, a fighting man, people respect you. I'm surmising the opposite sex are attracted by that. Do you ever get any strange requests in your DMs?
Not really, no. More from blokes.
Is it?
Wanting punching, yeah.
Wanting punching?
Yeah.
You take them up on it?
No. They'll wind them up sometimes.
£200, mate.
You never know if it's real or not. You just think, fucking...
It'll be real. These guys, it'll be real.
I'll send them to your cult.
My
pal will do it for you. Get ready.
We'll beat each other up, and I get paid.
It's madness, isn't it? Really. I try not to think too much into how mentally handicapped these people are, but I think they are. You know, I think it's given a rise to people who've got
something going on.
Serious demons.
Something in water.
It could be. Yeah. Turning frogs gay. For fuck's sake.
How many genders are there?
What do I think? Yeah. Well, you know my answer to that, mate.
Not even 3.
Takes 2 to tango, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jake Paul will get a bit of an upheaval for that because
he's only telling his opinion, isn't he?
Yeah, he's bang on as well.
There's two. That's it. So.
Do you think there'll be a lot of biters though? A lot of like non-binaries in that, like proper giving him some shit, probably giving him death threats.
Like
just
I said
for the
earlier, you
facts.
can't fucking say out without somebody being offended. So somebody will be jumping on the high horse. I ain't gonna let that lie get a big petition or something going off for him. That's just how people are now. They ain't got what else better to do.
Do you think it's boredom a lot of it then for these people?
But like you said, just something to put their mind into, but it's aimed it wrong way.
I also think it's like, I can't remember I had this conversation with, but you know when you're in school and there were just them people who just didn't fit in.
Yeah.
And all the people who didn't fit in were
socially awkward.
Yeah, they were in that group, and you just saw them. They all got on with each other because they didn't fit in anywhere else in school. That's them. So if you give them a category to fit under, they're going to jump in it. Then the people who are only just fitting in are also going to be like, I'm kind of just fitting in with all these group, but I could really fit in with all these guys. Yeah. Then they all just do that, and they just fucking grow out like that, and that's what's happened.
But secondary to that, social media also gives these people a voice.
100%.
When we were younger, the outliers or these people who you're discussing there, they wouldn't have fronted up to someone because they'd have probably got a clip or got pulled up, wouldn't they?
What was that saying? In the fucking Facebook's nobody's getting punched in the face anymore because they're all sat behind a fucking. Well, I probably shut a few people up, you know.
There's a guy who's doing the rounds at the minute. Like, I'm not into the streaming, but I'm more interested in how these streamers are making money.
Fusey, what it was called.
No, there's him who's quite. He's a bit out there.
I think it's funny.
But there's a kid called Neon, and his character, like let's say he got you on. It just basically abuse you, rip you apart. You know, he'd never do it to your face. Yeah. But there's been a video released where someone fan him and put it on him heavy, and he just crumbled because he's just not about that. So it's just like, why? It's a weird world we live in where when I were younger, if there were people who had reputations who you knew were Andy and you had to respect, you had to respect them. There were no moving around that. Like if you did something wrong, there's a chance they'll show up.
Well, I think it has got to, like we're talking about, that Dylan Dennis is getting paid for trolling Logan's missus, isn't he? And the amount he's getting paid as well, that's just going to fucking raise flag for everybody. I hope we'll start fucking saying a load of shit about them, see if we can make some money. And it's going down the wrong route again. It's using the wrong way, isn't it? In one way, it's good to stay in touch with people, but it's just gone beyond that now. Fucking.
We mentioned the other day, and it's something, it'd be nigh on impossible for me to do it for what business I've set up. But I'd love to have an actual full disconnect from social media for a prolonged period and see where my mental state lies. How do I feel? Because I find myself sometimes, and I've definitely controlled it more now, that we looked at his screen time and sometimes 5 and 6 hours a day. It's fucking disgusting that when you really think about it. Because you were talking about the idea of getting a flip phone and just keeping it old school like that. I fucking like that idea.
I'm still telling me I'm getting close. The only thing what's keeping I'm fighting is keeping advertising.
Yeah, you've got to play that game a bit.
But it's like everything, your bank, everything's on it now. It feels like you have to have it. It has to be a part of you.
Yeah.
And I hate that. And I hate how, if you don't answer your phone straight away, so some people get monk on. I'm not here at your beck and call. I've got other stuff to do. I'll get back to, I'm just thinking about putting house phone in. We'll get back to people when they have messages, but if I do it or not, we'll soon see. But it's been on my head for a bit now.
Putting house phone in.
I used to love it. When you live like that, honestly, I think the general population's anxiety were far lower. You shouldn't have connection 24/7. And when you scroll social media, if you really think about it, if you've not curated your feed correctly, and you're seeing the light, I'm not against these Logan Pauls because they're all entertainers, but if that's what you're seeing and digesting, and that's the input you've got, trust me on this. It ain't. If you're not in a position where you want to be, it's going to affect you. Yeah. And it brings me back to that point. When we're discussing this Illuminati, I don't know enough about that. But will it come a point with the likes of Logan Paul, Aiden Ross, these boys who have got all these influence, even like Dylan Dennis, who's going to build a following from this? When will some of these, we discussed it the other day, when will they change the platform for the greater good? Will they ever get to that? They probably, it won't get the views, they know that deep down, but like these people who have got these positions of power for the younger audiences, which they've got
wrong idols now.
They're fucking 100%. Yeah. Like who I looked up to when I had no money and skin in business. I looked to business mentors or people who I looked up to, and to me, I I always bring up they were a bit of a North Star, a bit of a lighthouse. Like, that's what I want to be like. Yeah. Have kids even got this anymore now?
No, because I think if Logan went on the straight and narrow, started trying to help people like Tate has, for instance.
But Tate
even listen to him
Tate even had to curate. I'm not saying Tate is not that man, and a lot of his stuff has a lot of truth in it, but it's still a character, I believe.
Yeah, 100%.
Who do people look up to now? I don't even know who it is.
Yeah. It's not
streamers
so much with
rappers,
talent and that, is it? Well, I don't know.
I think about that. I think that about a lot. Me, I'm really careful now. We said this. We all Twitter, didn't I? Like, you can curate a feed, so your input is the right one. Because what you're taking in, you're going to become.
Yeah, I have to spend so little time on Twitter. Like, it's good for me to promote my business and stuff like that, but my fucking feed's just disgusting. File, because when I was doing the collabs with OnlyFans, I was like actively following other girls who did it, and I've not really been through and unfollowed them. And all
you got your phone on you now. Just show me a snapshot of
it's filming, bro. But it's not. It's disgraceful.
Yeah,
it makes me feel. In fact, you know, you just said then about being desensitized to it. Sometimes on the morning I'll sit there and I'll be like, right, I need to do all my scheduling posts for Instagram, OnlyFans, Twitter, whatever. So I'll go on there, I'll go on Twitter and I'll see it like 8, 9 in the morning, just someone's arsehole there, and then like a girl with her legs behind her head with a butt plug in saying, which hole are you licking first? That's when that's all this morning. I'm just looking at them, like
standard advertisement.
Absolutely none of them. Makes me feel
that's
sick.
why you're not working it with a bar on.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'd eliminate that immediately. Bring it back to some positive stuff. Training. Training tonight. How's the SNC looking at the minute?
Yeah, I'm getting back to where I've had to work around with injury I've got. Still be a 2 week before I can hit things fully how I want to hit it. Just maintain some sort of fitness and strength.
You still keep like a regiment with strength training, or is that sort of more circuits now?
I do a bit of everything's a bit of dynamics, then I'll do a bit of mobility, then I'll do so many strength, and I'll do a bit of conditioning at the end, and I'm just keeping it like that throughout.
Are you still doing all the polar strap, tracking all your like red zone training and stuff like that?
I wasn't doing. I've just started that back up now. I've got ring on again.
Is it Aura Ring?
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you a story. Have I told you on this yet?
Tell it.
No, I haven't. So, a couple of weeks ago, I had a cold message on.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a cold message on Instagram from the brain doctor, and I've been doing, even though I've just had a bit of this vape, I've been doing stuff to like look after my brain a bit more, eat better foods, all that sort of shit. And because I've been watching all these videos, obviously he must be paying for ads that targeted me. So he saw me coming. He saw me coming. Messaged me, hi, I can see that you're a very busy guy. I bet you struggle a bit with brain fog and concentration. I'm like, yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I do. He's like, oh, let's book in for a phone call. Let's do a Skype call. So I'm like, all right, sound. I wasn't in a good headspace at this time, and I went up to Josh's and had a chat with him. And as I was leaving, I was like, oh, I might have a good thing for us, this brain doctor guy. I'm doing a Skype call with him, and he's like, whatever you do, I can see just by like having a conversation with you, you're not in a good headspace. Don't let him close a deal on you. So I'm like, no, I won't do. Obviously, I'll just tell him like.
And I said it 3 times.
Yeah, he did, and I reassured him. No, bro, don't worry. I'm not going to make a deal today. I know I'm not in a good headspace. I went home, FaceTime. This guy's like, oh, do you have an Aura Ring? I said, no, they're any good. He was like, oh, it's amazing. I can track all your thing. Yeah. I can coach you for the next 3 months, and also I'll send you out a test to do like a blood, saliva, hair, and stool test, and I'll give you all your things. And so I'm like, oh, because I have been like thinking idea of wanting to get tested to see if there's anything wrong with me or what's misfiring. So I just thought, you know what, fuck what I've promised Josh that I'm not going to do it. I'm not taking Josh's advice whatsoever. I want a good brain and I want to know if there's out with me. Sign me up. Yeah. I didn't ask how much he won, not because I was like trying to be like the big I am, but just because I presumed it would be less than £1,000 at least. Yeah. So he goes, oh, do you want me to send you card details or do you just want to give me details over the phone? So I probably shouldn't have done this either. I'm like, I'll give him over the phone. So I give this Canadian guy my bank details, and he starts pouring it in. And I only use this bank to just transfer OnlyFans money wage in it, then straight into my bank. So I never really float any money into it. So probably about 2 or 3 grand in it. And he puts the details in, and then he goes, oh, it says insufficient funds. I said, it shouldn't be. How much is it? And he was like, 7,500. So I'm like, well, how much is Aura Ring? And he's like 300. And I'm like, how much is testing? He's like, can be a couple of grand. So he's like charging me like 3 or 4 grand just for him to track my stuff on the Oura Ring and get me tests.
Tests aren't that much, neither.
I said, mate, fucking no chance. I can't pay. I'm not paying that today. And he's like, oh, well, what about 5,000? So like trying to barter me. And I'm like, nah, that's still a lot. He's like, all right, what about 3,000?
That's a big
so
difference.
Like,
why didn't you just massively abuse him and put him on blast for that, mate? It's just 50% discount on something that you were going to charge $7,000 for.
Yeah. The thing with Oura Ring as well, the art side, it isn't very reliable, especially for training.
Is it not?
What I like is for the readiness and the sleep pattern and stuff like that, to keep an eye on that.
Well, I was toying with it after that phone call. I was going to get one. Then Josh told me about the Whoop strap.
Yeah.
And I used them when I was younger, but couldn't be asked paying £30 a month for membership.
The best, what's on the market, for accuracy is the new Apple watches for your heartbeat, for your sleep pattern, stuff like that. More accurate than these. So
I might get one of them.
What, the Apple Watch? I've got one of mine, but it's smashed, and I don't think you can actually fix the screen once it's smashed. But
so are you just an advocate there of tracking sleep quality to know how do you want to train next day?
And it gives me a readiness score to how much it takes all your sleep, your heart rate, how many times you wake up throughout night. Takes it all into play how you've trained. So and it gives you a score. So I can't go off gossipal, but it gives me a good idea where I am. And it's got some other stuff interesting, like breathing exercises and meditation and stuff. So,
what, through the Oura, like through the app?
Yeah.
Nice. That's
what I did last night. Fucking hell, relaxed as fuck. Yeah, on PMF mat as well.
How are you finding that?
Good. Like I stopped using that, but I've been using this past 2 weeks every day now, and just for especially after training or if I'm feeling a bit tired, put it to a certain setting. And it seems to give me a bit of life back in me.
Do you just try and layer the good habits back in, or do you just try and snap back straight into everything?
Well, I've ordered a new ice bath and that, but I've been doing sauna every day again. Started meditating again. Routine with training's back. Healthy eating. So I'm gonna say I was at 97 kg and I'm down to 91 now. So
the next thing I want to get right is just the sleep schedule for me. Yeah, I feel because I've run my own schedule, I justify staying up a little bit too late.
I did that last night.
And then the morning, it's just, I ease into it versus just getting up and just, let's go.
Yeah, but this, it sets an alarm. It gives you a warning, right, you need to start winding down now. So basically, and then it gives you some guided meditation or stuff to help wind down as well. So it's all right, it's good. If you use it right, it's a good bit of kit. I
find that because I tried meditation last night. As soon as I put myself to bed and go to bed, the wind down's good for me. I sometimes have to listen to maybe a little bit of a podcast or some guided meditation or some positive reinforcement, but I'm probably off in 15 minutes. It's just being committed to myself there. Go to bed. Otherwise, I'll just sit and sort of just watch. Yeah. I think I'm watching something that I'm soaking in or benefiting from, but I'm just procrastinating. Like, get to bed so you wake up next day and you can show up a bit better.
You just got to acknowledge when you're doing that, because if not, I did it last night. Well, it's embarrassing to admit, but I once came in from yours. I got a bag of pop chips that I'd got from Asda that I planned on just having snacks, and I ate the full bag whilst I had telly on in the background, thinking I'm watching a podcast, thinking my fucking subconscious mind will take all this info in whilst watching TikToks, mate. Yeah. And I did that for an hour and 15 minutes, and I just thought to myself, what the fuck am I doing? It was 11:30, and I was like, get to bed, you weirdo.
That's why you're waking up floppy, that.
Well, but if you do it on a morning or on a night, as soon as you start scrolling, you find you've lost half hour or that. Yeah. Just in phone. And you're not even taking out in, you're just fucking glued to it. And it's for no reason.
It's sad, isn't it? Yeah. You just got to acknowledge when you're doing it, because I can just get
But do you feel, I feel you'd find it easy, but do you feel life, let's just say the internet went down today and the phone stopped. I wonder how long it'd take for, I think we'd be all right, but I bet the younger generation would be lost.
Well, it is like your arm now, isn't it? Like I say, that attached to it, you need it for just about everything now. So I think everybody would struggle. You've done it before where your phone's broken, you feel weird, like something's missing. So
it's the first thing I look for in the morning, which is like a crack habit. If it's out of battery or low on battery, I'm like, fuck. Weird. Very strange.
So I think everybody's the same now. It's just become a part of his life, which it's a bit annoying. That's what's frustrating me about it.
I want to see you either with like a Motorola flipper or just take it old school 3310.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's hard though, because like you say there, you feel you need to market yourself, don't you, in this world? It's a strange carry on. Unless you get someone to do it for you, it's a necessity now in this sort of generation of how we're making money and promoting ourselves. It's weird, especially what we do.
I'd be screwed without a phone, me.
You wouldn't be able to make a living, really, would you?
No, not at all.
I think the relationship should be a lot stronger with them as well.
Yeah.
Because they didn't all this other fucking marketing for you.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I find myself doing that, and I've started to try and snap out of it quick. I'll notice that if I'm just scrolling, where's the missus? She's probably just scrolling. Then I go in. Then I'm like, no, fucking hell, let's just, because she'll put her phone down straight away, and she's getting some of your time. It's just policing that, like you're saying, and understanding. Hold on a minute, I'm taking other people's lives in when I've got my own to live. That should be paramount.
Communicating with everybody else without banning the people what's in the room.
Agreed.
You need to be communicating with. You're always somewhere else. Oh, I'm doing this. But they're chatting away. You ask me what they've said. Fuck knows. But it's fucking crazy. So
before we let you get off, we're gonna somewhat promote. We've got some ideas with this next fight camp.
Yeah.
We're either toying with a documentary and then probably releasing some little snippets.
Yeah.
What's his idea with that? Just
like I said, I just thought it'd be better rather than obviously keep releasing a little bit of clips, but just get a good feel from where we've come from, dealing with dark, and then rebuilding. Because like I said, we've hit rock bottom and we're rebuilding back up now, and let's see where we go from there. It'd be nice to get people a good feel for the journey.
Yeah.
So I thought
let's do it.
Go down that route.
Promo your fight. What we got coming up for you? Yeah.
Muay Thai Grand Prix, 14th of October at the Magna in Sheffield. Slim's fighting on it for anyone that knows Aaron Slimane. He's doing K1. I'm doing gloved boxing. Probably a night out after it as well.
All fans there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to just try and... I don't know, actually. Rumoured just get absolutely freaked out. The guy that massages me said, you fighting?
There's going to be like a little Asian kid with sign there just saying, I massage Ellis.
I could get him to do that, bro. I could do it just for the vlog, but yeah. If anybody wants tickets to that, boys, it's 14th of October.
Yeah.
A question for you both, being fighters.
Yeah.
Reverting back all the way back to the Eubank thing and him getting booed, would you rather go into a fight being the bad guy or being the good guy? Obviously, you'll have your following there, but would you rather?
When it gets to that stage, anyway, you've already zoned out. You have to cut all crowd out anyway, so you've just got going into the fight. There's only two people in there, so everything else gets muted out, sort of thing. On it, voice you're listening for is your corner team, so everything else it just comes. You just come tuned in.
Yeah.
Can you hear the corner's advice?
Yeah. You
can with experience, 100%. But there has been fights that I've been involved in and I've not heard. I didn't hear one thing from crowd. I didn't hear nothing from either corners. I was just locked into that were like earlier fight days.
Yeah. I think so you're not getting influenced by crowd. You have to learn to switch off. Because otherwise somebody will be always going, go on, fucking kill him.
Energy.
So you don't want to be influenced by them, making moves off what they say.
How annoying is it when someone just shouts, knock him out?
Yeah. I didn't want to watch that.
Like it were fucking just if it were that easy, man. You don't think I'd do that?
You're not thinking, go on, fucking hit him. Yeah. What do you think I'm trying to do? What do you think I'm here for?
Well, do you sometimes hear that as well? Fucking shut up.
No, I've heard it when I've been watching fights and that. And I just think, fucking hell.
My first boxing match, I was seeing Kirby and I watched video back and it's just like 6 minutes first going, fucking kill him. So I said to Emily this time, if you come into my fight, don't say a word. She's like, there's nothing worse than just hearing one of your own fans just shout. My dad's the worst person for it. I've got a K1 fight when I fight in Liverpool. And the fight that I'd had before that, I stopped this kid in like 13 seconds or something. So then in first round, we'd just touched gloves, me and this guy. We were hitting each other for like 5 or 6 seconds and my dad goes, 6 more seconds, elbow, that's your record. Like making out as if I was trying to knock him out faster than my last fight. And I actually heard it at the time of the fight and I like cringed for him whilst I was fighting. And then I watched it back on video and I couldn't upload it because of that. It's shocking.
I find if I go for it, don't think you have to let it just fall into place, just box.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But I've always just gone for it. I was saying this yesterday when I was just like, as soon as I've touched gloves with someone, I'm lining my left hand up.
But is that what you took away from weighing his advice yesterday? Just settle into fight a bit?
100%. So we were talking about just keeping in and out, like in your range and out of their range or whatever. And he talked a lot about your hand fighting and doing all the snake charm and stuff like that. And he's like, and then just pop a jab off and just see how they react to a jab before you even start. But not, and I like after the session, I basically said, even this session I've learned because if I'd have not had this session now and I'd have gone into my fight, which is in 6 weeks' time, I would have just been touching gloves and just staying in that pocket until I could throw a backhand.
Yeah, he's just got a way of explaining stuff, and you automatically just understand it.
Yeah.
He's a top coach, top bloke. He's helped me a lot.
I'm surprised about. I'm so surprised on how the word's not humble, but like if you didn't know him, you'd be like, why is he so scared of me? Not scared of me, but, you know, like he apologised yesterday. So, sorry if I'm talking too much. I'm like, no, you're talking fucking 100% knowledge. And he's like, I've watched the fight that we're talking about where my ex was shouting it. We're on one of Wayne's cars. He went main event and he knocked this bloke who were called the Governor out, a big, massive, like 6'7" guy. And everyone like counting Wayne out on the fight. Wayne knocked him out in the first round. So I just know, I know what he's like as a fighter.
Yeah, he's phenomenal power, but he's got the knowledge, you know, with it, you know. You can't meet a better guy, honestly.
No, he's a top guy.
He's just very humble, and he's got an aura about him. You have to respect that.
Yeah.
When he speaks, you listen,
you
know, and you take it all in. He's like one of me. I've looked up to him for years. You know, been very good.
Has he always been so softly spoken?
Yeah, he's always like that. He's brilliant with kids on that as well.
Yeah,
so.
Nice.
I bet he were. I know he's told a few stories. We won't tell him on here, but I bet he were an handful on doors, wasn't
he? I bet he wasn't so softly spoken then. I bet he was just like, out. Bang.
Something like that.
I just, before we finish up, so sponsorships, if anybody wants to get in touch with me on Facebook or Instagram, you want to get your company out there, obviously it's televised, it's worldwide, so hit me up.
Get behind him. Get behind the man.
Sick.
Happy boys.
Thank you very much.
Good work, lads.
We ain't earning. Took too much, don't stay too close. We gon' fuck around down. Doing our shows. I been on the road, I don't get why, as long as I keep